So what I think about the Gilbert Arenas scandal, gambling rink thing, to me it's much ado about nothing. The feds are ridiculous. They need to be looking at Trump and Epstein. That's what they need to be doing. But distraction central. And if you're going to talk about conspiracies and running afoul in the NBA, why don't you ever talk with Mr. Adam Silver and talk to Mr. Tim Donahue, who told you about how the refs be fixing games and throwing games. If you're going to use a former NBA player who's running a high-stakes poker game at his estate, which Hugh Hefner did it, quite a few dignitaries did it. I don't see them being where they talking about high stakes or paying off and whatnot. See, first of all, they're trying to say mafia is involved. Well, you know what? Yeah, because of the streams and the services. Well, if this is the case, take Chris Rock and Kevin Garnett off of the sport and betting thing that you're advertising everywhere. Take the betting off the games. Now, you ask me, how does a former NBA player and all this stuff may tie into today's modern NBA? Who said it ever left? I've watched enough Michael Franceschi's videos to know that, hey, that mob stuff still going on in these games, especially in this day of streaming, which is fake. The fake streams and dreams and viewership and all the numbers. So if you put this number here, it's all a slot machine. But this is just a distraction. That ain't no real charge. And a 5-year counsel fed, that's not no, they're going after Gilbert. I don't know. Maybe people think he talked too much bad about Kobe. Maybe he's saying something that he's paid to say. I don't know. Listen, I don't particularly care for Gilbert personally. He was a good player who then blown his stock way up. He's one of those guys because in another life of social media, he's now made to look like he's bigger than he was. He was good. He was never great. He was never on the Dwayne Wade, Kobe Bryant, Iverson. None of those guys is tip. But he had a 60-point game against the Lakers in 2009. And when Kobe Bryant and Phil Jackson say you shoot the ball too much, something's wrong. But this ain't about this nor that. This is just a shakeup. Didn't Paul Hornung back in the 60s with the Green Bay Packers get into some kind of funny business? And they didn't come after with no feds with him. Now, Gilbert may have kind of stroked the wrong ego. Maybe he touched a nerve with somebody. I don't know. Maybe he said something in one of his diatribes. I'm surprised they messing with him because Gilbert to me is kind of like the Kanye West of former NBA players. He's talked so crazy, you can't really take him serious. But I do know, and he was on the ESPN plantation with Stephen A. Smith, so maybe this is his don't get your wake-up call, you're not really allowed here. That's a message to Cam Newton. And you saw what happened with Shannon Sharpe. So believe me, they don't want y'all on that plantation unless